By the end, Cocaine Bear has explored some intriguing territory and has wrapped up the main plot while also leaving room for a possible sequel. Cocaine Bear, which Elizabeth Banks directed from a screenplay by Jimmy Warden, is partially based on actual events in which a black bear consumed 40 cocaine containers. This year, Cocaine Bear may not have a more fitting moniker for a movie. The story of a wild black bear who gets to consume cocaine in the 1980s and becomes seriously addicted is as simple as its title would have you believe. Elizabeth Banks creates a wild parody of slasher films, criminal films, and 1980s comedies in her most ambitious film to date. Prior to the film's release, the wildly successful viral marketing effort was able to create a cult following. Cocaine Bear, which takes place in 1985, tracks police investigator Bob as he looks for a lost shipment of cocaine in the Georgia Blood Mountains while attempting to track down the elusive criminal Sid Dentwood, Ray Liotta. Sid sends his son Eddie and accomplice David to look for the stolen drugs in a desperate attempt to recover his lost packages. Unfortunately, when the nurse and her partner Henry go exploring, Sari loses her daughter Dee Dee in the woods. Even more bizarre characters get engaged in the absurd, including the eccentric park ranger Liz and the animal rights activist Peter, the tourists Olaf and his wife, Bob's fellow police officer Reba, a pair of medics, Scott Seiss and K.N. Kim, and the local thug Stash, Aaron Holiday. Here is everything you need to know about the Cocaine Bear's ending. Actually, Cocaine Bear is based on a true story. According to a report in December 1985, authorities were reportedly looking for a cache of cocaine thought to have been dropped by Pablo Escobar's crew in the Chattahoochee National Forest close to Blue Ridge, Georgia. A black bear's body was found that had tragically died after consuming a significant quantity of cocaine. Later, the bear was preserved by stuffing it. In the movie, an eater smuggler, Matthew Rise, flies over Georgia and drops cocaine in the mountain to be picked up by Escobar's team. The less-than-smart smuggler bangs his head before jumping out, fails to deploy his parachute, and dies in the midst of a suburban Georgian neighborhood. This involves Bob and the other cops in the investigation. Dee Dee has missed school along with Henry to go paint a nearby waterfall, so Sari searches for her and decides to go on a scouting expedition with Liz and Peter. Stash and his thugs assault Saeed, who then compels Stash to accompany him and Eddie to show them where the remaining cocaine is kept. Sid personally arrives to settle the dispute after Eddie and Saeed start to struggle with their goal to recover the shipment. Olaf and his wife are just tourists visiting the region for the day. After an emergency event is reported, the medics arrive. Reba finally makes it to the forests and admits that she is in fact collaborating with Side. Cocaine Bear soon becomes graphic. In the opening sequence, Olaf's wife is brutally dismembered after erroneously attempting to run away from the bear. Henry is found by Sari, Liz, and Peter after Dee Dee is abducted by the bear and brought to its cubs. When the bear brutally decapitates Peter, Sari chooses to stand guard over Henry, while an injured Liz runs for help. While one of Stash's associates is being killed by Liz as she returns to the check-in area, another is being beheaded by the bear. The two medical professionals try to flee in an ambulance after Liz had sent a distress call to them. Liz is dragged to her death after her stretcher is thrown over the side of the ambulance. Later, the bear attacks and kills the two doctors. Bob engages Eddie, David, and Stash in a standoff before Side arrives and kills the senior officer, enabling Stash to escape. Olaf takes Sari and Charlie to the waterfall, where Dee Dee has been housed by the bear's cubs. Sid threatens to kill Reba, but backs off after David and Eddie resolve to stand up for her. After realizing that children are in danger, Eddie eventually challenges his father. When Sid attempts to steal the cocaine because his greed for cash is too strong, he is killed and dismembered as a result. Eddie saves David in the ocean while he is on the verge of death, and Suri is able to save his life. As they proceed home on foot, she carries Dee Dee and Henry to safety. Eddie makes the decision to be a better parent now that Sid is caring for Eddie's young son. He acknowledges David as his best buddy, and after Reba gives them Bob's dog, the two decide to care for her. After working out their differences, Suri and Dee Dee plan to spend more time together. It's unclear what happened to the bear and the stolen drugs. In a brief post-credits scene, Eddie and David come to meet Eddie's son and discover that the dog has been devouring David's amputated fingers. Another post-credits scene shows Stash finding a duffel bag of cocaine after making his getaway and deciding to keep it for himself. Additionally, Ray Liotta, who passed away on May 26, 2022, is honored in the movie. He will still make an appearance in Fool's Paradise, Dangerous Waters, and April 29, 1992, which are all forthcoming movies.